What is going on, everybody? Just the Savage here, and welcome back to another Forest Let's Play video. And in today's video, I'm actually going to show you that in the last episode, I was a complete and total ninny, and because I didn't have a proper base set up, I did not save where we previously left off. So now we have to start a completely new playthrough, but it's okay. I've already did the basic necessities. I've already taken care of a lot of luggage back at my new crash site, and I've gotten myself situated here, as you can see, on the beach. And it's a good thing that we're set up right on the beach because we have the biggest water source in the entire world at our disposal. So there's that. Also, I basically gave us everything that we had in the first video and then a whole lot more. So I have our stick collector as well as this thing, which is called a water collector. As the name implies, it will collect water for you. The only problem is that we still need to find the pot so that we can actually boil our water in the campfire. And the campfire is also used to cook meat. You can cook any type of meat in this game, and it will give you something to eat. And then we have this. You can probably already guess what this is, but this is a rock collector. We're going to be needing rocks if we're going to be making some better weapons than what we have right now. And if we take a look at our inventory, you can see that I have made myself quite a few Molotov cocktails, and I have a decent amount of raw meat that I can cook. I also have a couple of feathers. Now, in this game, you can upgrade quite a few weapons with either cloth, which you wrap around the weapon so that you can light it on fire so that you can cause fire damage to enemies. Teeth, which will increase overall physical damage. You get teeth from dead corpses, obviously. Feathers, you can actually attach them to your weapons and it will make you swing them faster. And there's also glass, which I believe is the same as teeth. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the crafting system of this game works. So everything that you pick up in the game, on the forest, will appear here on this mat here. And I have to warn you guys that even when you enter this menu, this crafting menu, time in the game itself does not stop, so you can still get attacked by enemies and all of that other fun stuff that we just love happening to us. So so you have to be careful when doing this. So we have the plain axe. I did not mean to do that. So we have the plain axe, and we have all of this other stuff that we can craft different things out of. Now, you always put the stuff, now you right-click to put whatever you want into this center spot, and then you add onto it. Now, there are only certain recipes that work, so you can't just craft, like, anything. So we're going to put the plain axe in here, and then we're going to put some feathers in here. Wait a minute. Oh, it's just... Okay, so we're going to need to, I'm going to need to look up some of these recipes because I'm pretty much playing this game blind. But yeah, so this is how the crafting system works in this game. So, the more you collect, the more you'll be able to make, and the more that you'll actually be able to do stuff with. So, as I was saying, we are on the beach, and we're going to go around here, and we're going to take a look, because you're going to notice that there are boats, and that there are actual campgrounds on this place. And this, for some random reason, like, it's implied that people used to come here just for vacation and stuff like that, but look where that got them. Also, I've made like the biggest mistake in the previous episode. I was sort of freaking out when that cannibal showed up, so I was kind of losing my concentration. Um, and you know, and so I wasn't able to fight him effectively. And plus, I kind of recommend that you play as sort of a stealthy playthrough on your first playthrough, so that when you so that you can sneak up on enemies and get the jump on them. And as you progress through the game, obviously the enemies get a little bit more difficult. As you find more stuff and as you progress and you get closer to the end of the game, more powerful enemies start emerging, and it only makes your survival experience that much more entertaining. At least for you guys. For me, it's just going to be more of a nightmare as we progress. So now that we have a complete base set up, I'm going to show you how to... so when you're inside one of your buildings, you can do one of two things. You can save by holding down the C. This menu will pop up, and you have 5 save slots. Now, in the previous, remember in the previous episode when I said that once you die and you have to start the game all over again? That's exactly what that means. Now, granted, I've never seen anyone actually do this before, but there was this one guy who did a no commentary let's play on this game, and he kept on saving in this save slot, and then he died at one point, and for some reason he couldn't get back into this. So there's probably like some sort of fail safe that does not allow you to load up your previous playthrough. So yes, in this game, once your character dies, you have to start a brand new, fresh playthrough from the very beginning. You have to go through all of the stuff that you went through again, and to me, if that happens, I'm probably just going to stop this series, because I'm one of those people who's like, if something really tragic happens in a game, doesn't matter what game it is, I will stop playing that game for weeks, maybe even months on end, because of what just happened. So in this playthrough, I am going to try to be as careful as possible. We're going to try to get as far as we can, and if we die, if there is an episode where we die, don't be surprised if that's the final episode of this series. So there's the saving system, and then you also have the sleeping system. You can sleep in this game, obviously, so that you can pass time. If you are just sick and tired of waiting for nighttime to end, you can hold down Z. But you can only do it at certain points. I think you can only do it at nighttime. But you can hold down Z, and your character will sleep until sunrise. So if you don't want to, if you are too scared, like if you think that a cannibal horde is coming and you don't want to fight it off, if you don't want to take that chance, you can just sleep in your base, and you will wake up at sunrise. And they never got rid of the dynamic of cannibals and monsters coming out more often at night and trying to maul your face off. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to explore the beach. I don't want to go too far away, but I want to go exploring a little bit. It never hurts to explore in this game. You don't know what you're going to find. There are just a lot of cool things in this game. Oh, look, a lizard. You get back here. Anyway, so we're just going to continue exploring here, and you're going to notice something on my axe, something that you didn't see in the previous video. That is a piece of cloth. And you're also seeing the lighter symbol light up on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. And now I'm hungry. But why, hello there. Aren't you interesting? You are very interesting. Yeah, that's an effigy. And but I'm going to get to those here in a minute. But what I'm saying about the axe is that that piece of cloth, when you hold down that that piece of cloth. Sorry, I had to get myself back into the window. That piece of cloth, when you hold down L, will actually ignite, and it will be a temporary upgrade for you. It will not be permanent because the cloth will burn up. So we're just gonna open these boxes. Oh, look, a circuit board. Yes. And more circuit boards. Okay. You need circuit boards to build bombs, and there are effigies all over the place. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about effigies. Effigies are these really disturbing, disgusting things that are built by the cannibals here on the island, and it marks their territory. And you need to be really careful when you're around these things, because that means that you're probably near some cannibals. Now, you can also build your own effigies. You build your own effigies around your base, and the more you have set up and the more you have burning, the less likely that you're going to be attacked by the cannibals. Because, I mean, but here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. You have to you have to dismember corpses, and you have to take their limbs and their heads, and you have to put them on sticks. And we all know that there's nothing more gratifying than taking dead bodies and chopping them up and making really disturbing totem poles out of them, because, yeah, that's not disturbing at all. But, so we're just gonna keep on exploring. You have to wonder who would actually, come here, if this is actually a place. I mean, obviously, this is a made-up place, like the island on Ark Survival Evolved and other games like that. But you have to wonder to yourself, who comes here? Who would have the decency to come here with plane crashes and cannibals and mutants and all of this other fun stuff that you just have to worry about? You have to wonder to yourself, who comes here? Who in their right mind would come here? And the answer is pretty much you have to be the one. You are basically forced to be here. Like, you just so happen to be one of those people. I can't carry any more circuit boards. How lovely. But you're basically just a random person who just so happened to get himself into this mess. And a piece of paper that I have no idea what its use is. But in this game, this is pretty ironic, but this is also for survival, so I understand why they put this in here. Some corpses and luggage will hold money, and this game obviously does not have any vendors or traders, so money is not a currency. So, but you do use the cash for kindling in your campfire. So, I mean, think about it. You're in the middle of the ocean on an uncharted, hostile island, and you need a campfire, and the only thing that you have with you is cash in your wallet. Maybe you were saving that cash for, oh man, 2 cannibals. Okay, what I was saying was that if you don't have any natural kindling, you use the cash to as kindling to build yourself a campfire. So we're just going to make sure those cannibals don't see us. That was bad. If anybody remembers what happened to me in the last video, then you'll probably understand why I kind of want to stay away from cannibals right now. Because taking on one cannibal, that's pretty much a challenge, especially if you're a noob like me. But if you are but if you're a professional player and you already know everything about this game, then probably fighting off 2, maybe even 3 cannibals probably on your second day is not much of a chore for you. So now I'm going to show you guys how to use the campfire. So if we hold down E, your character will make the animation and will use his lighter to ignite the campfire. And then we can go into our inventory, pick up some raw meat, and we can throw it onto the fire by pressing C. And we can keep on doing that with all of the meat that we have. And then if we just wait a little bit, this meat will be cooked and we will be able to feed ourselves. Now there is another thing that I know that we need to... Oh no! Excuse me. I know there is one thing that we do need, and that is the cooking pot. And the cooking pot will allow us to take water from the ocean, and we will be able to boil water, and that will make the water nice and clean, and then we will be able to fill our thirst meter. And then we can also take the water that we boiled and we can put it inside of our water collector. And then whenever we just want to take a drinky, we can come over here. First I'm going to stand up where we can take a drinky, we can hold down E, and then our hydration will be completely refilled. The water collector will also collect falling rain whenever it rains, and that is rain that you can actually drink. To all of those environmentalists out there, there's no such thing as acid rain, okay? You don't step out into a thunderstorm and automatically melt away like the witch in The Wizard of Oz, okay? That's just a fantasy that was made up by the guy who originally wrote The Wizard of Oz. So there's no such thing as acid rain. Rain is the cleanest water that you can ever find because it has been filtrated through the Earth's atmosphere. But enough with the whole science talk. Let's get back to actually the fun part of this whole episode, which is actually, playing the game. So this meter is constantly filling up, so that means that we cannot sleep just yet. And I wish you could take... Okay, we're gonna have to put some more kindling on this thing. I do not know how to do that. I do not want to waste food. So we're going to put more kindling on the fire, and you will see that it will light up some more. And if you are wet and cold, you get near the campfire and it will warm you up, and it will also dry you up. So that is a really good thing for us to remember. And I do not know how many rocks the rock holder can hold, but I presume that we will find out soon enough. So the next thing that I wanted to try and do was I wanted to try and make a stone axe. The stone axe is, I believe, a little bit better than the plain axe that we already have, but I could be wrong about that. Right now I'm just experimenting. Oh, it actually shows you the recipe right here. We need electrical tape, we need a watch, we need some alcohol, we also need some disc things, I don't know what those are, and we also need a circuit board. So you will find more booze and more linen and stuff, and more cloth and stuff like that throughout the forest. You're not going to find it just near the plane crash. So you're going to find it in a large variety of places. There are some very special weapons in this game. Let's see if we can sleep just yet, because I do not want to handle any monsters right now, and I do not want what happened in the previous episode to happen in this episode. So, I am going to do a jump cut here, and then I will see you guys on day 3. Okay, so we just woke up. This is day 3. So the fire is still going, and we now badly need to eat. So that's what we're doing right now. We only ate a little bit. Our water collector is dry. I'm just going to pick a couple of these things up. It's always good to pick up everything you can. I'm going to kill this turtle because I need more food. Okay, so this is the perfect opportunity to show you guys how to skin things. So you hold down E, and it's going to make these really disgusting noises that you can't hear right now, but you're going to get turtle meat, and then you can pick up the shell, which I obviously can't right now. There is a little trick that I learned while getting ready for this episode. If you rapidly press E and you move, you can actually escort the piece that you're trying to pick up to wherever you want without having it to be in your actual inventory. And that is a really cool trick. If you guys have a full inventory, if you cannot carry any more of a certain thing, you can escort the thing that you want to carry to a place by rapidly pressing E. And but you have to make sure that you're constantly pressing E, because otherwise it's just going to fall and it's not going to be able to work. But that is how you get one extra piece back to your base without it having to be in your inventory, and I think that is really cool. So I think we're actually off to a really good start. We're definitely off to a better start than we were in the previous episode. In the previous episode, you know, it was just sort of like a trial run, but you know, it's really good. Also, when you're cutting down trees, I recommend cutting down the smaller, taller trees, like these ones that you're seeing right here, because they do not take very long at all to cut down, and they can give you up to 4 to 5 logs at a time, which is really good when you're first starting out your first base. Also, there is another thing that I want to address to you guys. In the previous video, I sort of made a little boo-boo, which was focusing more on these smaller things and getting those ready instead of focusing on the base itself, because the base gives you the huge advantage of actually saving your progress and allowing you to sleep through the night. That was another one of the that was like the biggest mistake I had made in the previous playthrough. So there we go. It's raining, so our water collector is collecting the rain. So we were able to drink that and refill our hydration all the way up. Now we just need to get some breakfast ready. Okay. I'm gonna go in here and we're going to equip this. Okay, we're gonna put that on there, let that cook. In the meantime, I want to start collecting some more things, because I do not want us to go without things that we need. So there we go. Excuse me. So, you see, the thing is, one thing that I do not like about the hunger and thirst in this game is that it starts yelling at you when your health and your thirst are only halfway or half empty. But that really doesn't matter now because we're eating. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I am such an innie. Butterfingers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit more exploring. Hopefully something doesn't come out and try to maul my head off. So, for some reason, when you go to attack this thing, your character just does like this war cry while trying to chop it down. I mean, this is a huge stump. Okay, I mean, who cannot argue? Nobody can argue with me with that when I say that this is a big stump. It's like the stump of the old Deku tree or something like that. I don't know. So we're just picking up all this stuff. You can't even put a small pebble in your pocket. Why can't you just put the pebbles in your pocket? I mean, in your shoes. I mean, yes, it's going to be very uncomfortable, but who's really caring at this point? When I recommend that when you're exploring like this, doesn't matter what time of the day it is, that you crouch. Now, I'm going to be doing this a lot in this Let's Play because I want to take a more stealthy approach. I want to make sure that I can have more jumps on the enemies than the enemies will have on me. And they've also done something very immersive in regards to hiding. If you find one of these trees or a very tall bush or something like that, you can hide in one of these trees or bushes, and it will make you undetectable. It's very, very efficient for when you're trying to sneak around enemies, or when you think that there's an enemy nearby and you're wanting to make sure that they don't detect you. It's a little bit more time consuming to go around the forest sneaking everywhere, but I want to be slow. I want to take my time. I want to make sure that I don't overstep anything. And there is a campground, I believe, down here in the direction that we are going right now that has the cooking pot. So we're just going to make our way over here. Now, in the no commentary Let's Play that I saw, and I think I should link you down to... I think I should leave a link to the first video of that playthrough in the description below so that you guys can have an idea of what I'm talking about. In this campsite is where the guy who did that Let's Play found the cooking pot. So we're just going to come over here and see if that campground is in the same area. It should be. And if it is, then we will be able to use the cooking pot that is there. And we'll also be able to find some additional resources there as well, so that this is actually really efficient. And what is this? It looks like some sort of planting area. It looks like a rock, but I honestly don't know what that is. So oh, yep, I was right. There's a campground over here. So we're going to stay crouched because I do not want to take any chances. I do not want to come up. I do not want to stand up and have a cannibal look at me and like, oh, you look delicious, and then come over here and, you know, rip my limbs off and put them on one of those totem pole tiki torch things. Oh, we found it. Yes. Okay, good. Now we are far less likely to actually go dehydrated. So now I'm going to hit this backpack because for some reason we can't, you know, just unzip it and look at what's inside. Oh no, we cannot do that. I don't think we can open that at all. It's just a decoration. Isn't that lovely? We're gonna go into this tent. Yeah, okay. Here's one thing that I do not understand about this game. You find these campgrounds. You find these boats. You find all of these places that would make decent shelter, right? But for some reason, you have to craft everything. You cannot use like prefabs like this to go to sleep. You can't even take this stuff with you. It's like, what? Like in that small house that we have set up over there. Hello, seagull. Thank you for flying into my view. For some reason, you can't just take this sleeping bag with you, take it back to your house, and you can't put it on the floor. No, your character just has to sleep on the cold, wet sand every night. But anyway, we got the cooking pot, guys. So what I'm going to... Oh, man, giant anchor. Giant anchor. I do not think I've ever seen an anchor that big before. But I am going to do a jump cut here. During that jump cut, I am going... Ah, spider! I did not do that. But I am going to go back to my to our base, and I'm going to use our, and then once I get back there, I will end off the video. Okay guys, so that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am so glad that episode 2 went off without a hitch. It's so much better of a beginning than our previous video. So just a brief recap, in today's video I showed you guys how to use the campfire, how to skin things, we did a little bit of exploration, taught you guys about the save system, the sleep system, and the crafting system. So I am hoping that in the next video we can do a little bit more of exploration. Hopefully we can get some better weapons, and maybe fight our first cannibal or two. I'm not sure. But anyway, guys, once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is Just the Savage, aka the Spectrum Gamer. Like and subscribe, and thank you. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Also, don't forget that I have started a DeviantArt account. I will put a link to that in the description below so that you guys can go take a look at it and view all of the pictures that I have posted. And I will see you guys next time.